Good morning and welcome back to Darwin. We're just cruising down the Stewart Highway on this Saturday morning. Just going for a drive to have a look at Berry Springs, and we'll call into the Coolalinga Markets as well. We've got beautiful blue skies. It's a cool morning. However, we are still in the monsoon season for another month or thereabouts. We're still getting good afternoon rains, and it does get quite sticky in the afternoons. So we're going to Berry Springs, which is about 10 minutes in off the Stewart Highway to the little town site. That's why you can see we've had a pretty good wet season with good rains, and you can see the grass is quite tall. Things are looking still pretty green on the whole. I was initially going to go and visit the Darwin River Dam, as a couple of days ago it has reached its maximum and is overflowing on the spillway. We haven't had this occurrence since 2018. I think in late March, Cyclone Marcus hit us and filled up the dam. So it's been a few dry years, and it's great that the Darwin River Dam is overflowing at the moment, which is good, as we do not get any rain pretty much at all in the dry season. The next rains will be around September, October. So we'll just go for a little drive, and very small township of Berry Springs. Nice little tavern on the left there, and a servo. There is a school a little bit further up, and the odd little takeaway place as well. So as we pass through the small town site of Berry Springs, that is the Berry Springs turnoff just in there, and a little bit further on is the Territory Wildlife Park, which has just reopened apparently. So it's nice and quiet out this way. Alright, so I've just turned into Berry Springs, and you'll see that the car park is pretty much empty. There's some people in this car just ahead of us, so we'll just pull in. Normally in the dry season this car park will be full, and it would be standing room only in the falls. So it is a nature park, so they haven't done a lot of development here, and it hasn't changed much since the 80s really. So just watch out for the odd water monitor lizard getting around. A few of the guinea fowls. Apparently there's a few pythons down in a secluded area on the right. So this is where you will walk in to the main area of the pools. This is the old kiosk, closed for now though. So this will probably open about mid-May. And that is why there's absolutely nobody here, because you cannot swim right now. Otherwise, many years ago, you could come here in the wet season and actually swim in it. So this is about the only development. They've got change rooms and toilet block just ahead of us. A couple of free barbecues here. I think one day they might put some shade over the top. So they get quite a bit of use in the dry season. And you'll see people setting up their picnic areas under the shade. So it's good to see it like this. I'll try and do another video in the peak of the dry season, and you'll see quite a remarkable difference. A really nice day. It's about 33 degrees. Humidity's still up there, but on the whole it's quite pleasant down here in the shade. So a lot of signs here from NT Parks and Wildlife. Just telling people that it might not be the best idea to swim in this water because it has flooded. About a month ago I came down and had a look, and the water level was halfway up the stairs. So you're getting a lot of bacteria come out of the soil. I think those sorts of bacteria like cryptosporidium and such prevalent in the water, so you can get a lot of infections up in your nose and ears. So yeah, that little waterfall that is quite famous, that people like to sit under, it's quite strong and does push you away. I think they'll wait for the levels to go down. They'll check the water quality, and they've always talked about a crocodile that hangs around in the main pool. Never seen it, but I have heard reports that it does swim up from the northern end on occasion. So I'm sure they'll check on that to make sure it's safe for everybody to come back for a swim. Alright, so from that little waterfall it does flow through a narrow channel, which is good fun. It takes you through there fairly swiftly. Just got to be a bit careful that you don't catch a toe or a knee on the rocks, but it's always good fun. So it's fairly natural. They don't interfere with the trees or anything too much. So you can have a nice walk through. You can hear the various birds singing away in the trees. Alright, so these are the main steps that will take you into the main pool here. Fairly large swimming area with some steps. I can't recall that these steps were here back in the 80s. So I wouldn't say they're new, but they weren't originally here. So I pretty much think I'm the only person here at the moment. I think that other car left. And they've got all these areas chained off with signs saying don't go in there. If you walk down the other end there, there's another entrance to the pool. So this one is quite a popular area for people to gather, have a swim. Alright, so we're back out on the Stuart Highway now, and we're heading towards Darwin. Now, a lot of people wonder why is there this big area on the left, and they are the original runways that were used in World War II when the Air Force moved down from Darwin. Airstrip was bombed quite significantly, so they're still here, as you can see. And I think there's 5 different airfields, and it's where they had all the various planes, did maintenance just here in the bush. So all of these little runways and old airfields will run parallel, as you can see, right next to the Stuart Highway. So this particular one I've called into is the Strauss Airfield. Some good information on the boards here, and there you go, fixing the aircraft just in the dirt and the trees. Some of the original photographs on the information board here. Done a little bit of patchwork on this because it may actually have been part of the Stuart Highway at some point. So they've got these cutouts of the various aircraft. As you can see there, the P-40 Kitty Hawk is one of the aircraft used here. The Spitfire, widely used throughout Europe and here in the top end. Spitfire version 8. Didn't see a lot of action apparently, as it was towards the end of the war. So yeah, just an interesting little piece of history that has survived. And you can drive on them. And this, I think this bit is original. Okay, so we'll just reconnect with the Stuart Highway, and then we might just shoot up the road a little bit and call into the Coolalinga Markets, which is at the Fred's Pass Reserve. So under this giant shade structure. I can't remember what it was originally used for. But seems to be a perfect place to have all-round markets. They go every Saturday morning right through the dry season. Dry season and wet season. Alright, so I've just turned off down to Bees Creek Road, and we'll just hang a right just here to get into the market area. So it's a fairly large reserve where they do a lot of equestrian training. People out here love to bring their horses and do the equestrian and various show jumping. Just nice and relaxing. We're only about 30 minutes away from Darwin City, but even though Darwin itself is pretty laid back, this goes back another notch. Mostly locals here, very friendly. Have a chat to anyone. So there's the giant shade structure. They do it in the mornings when there's a little bit of breeze. So it's not big like Mindle Beach markets or even Parap and Nightcliff markets, but a lot of local produce. You can get your various juices, you can get your laksa. More importantly, you can get your smoothie, and I'll just walk up here a little bit and grab a ginger, lime, honey smoothie, one of my favourites. So plenty of room, it's not overly busy or crowded, though it does get a little bit more crowded in the dry season. Baking these different kind of rolls and bread. So lots of just local families hanging out, getting something to eat for the morning.
Perfect, thank you.
Alright, got my juice. Check out this guy, he's making something that goes into your barbecue area. So you can put little plates and things on it. He claims that it does a really good roast.
Yeah, I've seen him on Facebook, mate.
That's a great
idea.
It'll be on Facebook. It'll be an actor on Facebook in about 10 minutes. That's all right.
Perfect. That's good.
But yeah, that's just cooked up top and it just gets that heat from the lid
He's happy
straight
to tell
down.
everybody
That rocks and then sears it
he
in so
makes
fast.
these himself.
All the flavours locked in
They're
there.
quite good. Alright, so we'll just have a quick zoom through with their little stalls selling all sorts of things. Get your black cockatoo there if you want one. Very noisy creatures though. Foods and treats for animals. Sell all your various pot plants. A lot of homemade products from people who live out this area. And this is a particularly good stall, very homemade jams, chutneys, chilies, chili sauce, and this lady makes a lot of really nice cakes and such herself as well. Soaps and lotions. This lady here just on the corner selling all her crystals and rocks. Spiritual dreaming. So she's got a pretty good range. Locally produced fruit and veg. Nice Thai place just here on the corner. She will cook something fresh for you if you would like something particularly made up. Okay, so that's just a quick look at the Coolalinga Markets. As I say, a lot of young families here like to just come and hang out. It's a nice, quiet, chill sort of a place. Okay, so that's pretty much it for today. So thank you very much for watching.
Myself,
We will see you in a new video.
there's some other